Hello everyone, welcome back to another review. This time we're doing the 2014 Academy Award winning film, and it won for Best Picture. None other than Birdman. Alright, Birdman is the film of a guy named Regan Thompson, who used to be a big superhero back in the 90s. He is played by Michael Keaton, and he used to be the character called Birdman. He did a couple of superhero films. He did 3 of them, and he didn't get to do a 4th one. He's down on his luck. He's about 20 years older now, and to get back into the limelight, he's trying to do a Broadway play and get back into it with that. He's doing it alongside his best friend Jake, played by, and I'm going to get his name massively wrong, Zach Galifianakis, the guy with the beard from The Hangover. He's played, he has alongside him his daughter Sam, played by Emma Stone, and his wife is, one of the other characters in it is played by Naomi Watts, who plays Leslie. Also in it is a guy named Mike, played by Ed Norton Jr., and they're trying to pull off this play. And in between it, Regan's character is having either mental breakdowns, because as he's trying to do this Broadway play to repair his lost spotlight, he is having mental talks in his own head about the superhero character he used to play, Birdman. This movie is, I don't know why this movie won an Academy Award, in all honesty. The gimmick of this movie is it's supposed to be shot like as one continuous shot. So as you see people come in and out of rooms, you will see cameras following that one person out of the room into another conversation, and then either that person will leave the room, someone else will come in, or when the person leaves the room who originally came in to talk with someone, the camera would follow that person, and so on. That gimmick is actually, it's done really well in this movie, but at the same time it also hampers it, as you have long drawn out shots where people are just walking in any direction, or simply scenes where the camera will show nothing just so it can transition to the next shot while it gets set up, or however they did it. They executed it really well, but it also came out very boring. There are also several story beats that either have no resounding impact on the film, or they just lead nowhere and get dropped by the end of it. There's this whole thing with Emma Stone's character Sam, who's Michael Keaton's daughter in this movie, and Ed Norton's character of Mike, that lead absolutely nowhere. It really has no residing impact on the plot, so why was it there? There's this whole thing with Michael Keaton and his ex-wife. Once again, there's a lot of talk there, and yeah, we get backstory on his life and what happened to him after his movie career as Birdman finished. But at the same time, there could have been better ways to do it. I don't know, it never worked for me. And then this movie did the cardinal sin of all movies, where they show a critic character. Okay, movie lesson 101. If you're gonna have a critic, movie lesson 101. Never have a critic, especially a movie critic, in a movie. They never come off well. They always sound maniacal, or they always come off as complete and utter jerks. And that is never a good thing. There's a critic character who openly says to Regan that she's going to give his play a bad review without having seen it, just because the fact that she doesn't like the fact that he's a Hollywood person. Oh, please, Hollywood. Stop putting critics in movies. You always come off as trite, and it just makes you look lowbrow. It didn't work in Godzilla. It didn't work in Lady in the Water. There was another movie that just came out recently and it didn't work. Stop it. You just make yourselves look stupid. Zach's character is fine. The one played by the dude from The Hangover. You know, he comes in and out of the movie. He's not a big deal. Michael Keaton's performance, on the other hand, is really good. I'll give this movie that credit. He plays it really well, and the movie does give you a sense where you can't tell what's real, especially when he starts hearing the Birdman voice in his head. And for those of you who are wondering, this is definitely a riff on Michael Keaton playing Batman in the early 90s, because they mentioned that his last movie was in 92, which is, I believe, the same year that Batman Returns came out. And as we all know, that was his last portrayal of Batman. So I will give it that credit for being sharp on that part, and also on the whole thing of whether since we are seeing it through the eyes of Michael Keaton, whether he's actually talking to Birdman or he's just straight up hallucinating. They leave it fairly ambiguous, but at moments you can actually tell what's going on. The gimmick itself, like I said, it's very well executed, but at times it does hamper the storytelling. I mean, there are times in this movie where I really felt like I was bored. I was genuinely bored during parts of this movie, and it's not a long movie. It's not even a 2-hour long movie including credits. And I was just actively just going, something please happen. This is a movie I can definitely tell won an award because of the gimmick. The gimmick of, oh, we're going to shoot this whole thing without any cuts, or make it look like it had no cuts. But other than that, I mean, even the whole play, the play is based on a Raymond Carver play called What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. The whole play, we literally see 3 scenes in the movie. One where they're talking around a kitchen table, one is a bedroom scene, and then one is it's actually the same kitchen room table scene, but it's on a different part of it, where Michael Keaton's character is doing a soliloquy to the crowd. I mean, is there anything else I want to say about this movie? I don't know. I just couldn't get into this movie. Despite Michael Keaton being really well and the gimmick being executed really well, I just felt like there were scenes that it was just dragged out. The gimmick overplayed itself, and that's about it. I couldn't see this movie winning an award, in all honesty. But then again, it's the Academy. Who knows? As far as the score goes, I probably would give it a 5.8. It's definitely above average, but would I see this again? Probably not, unless someone wanted to see it with me. Other than that, you know, there's nothing more to it. The ending is fairly ambiguous, but if you look at some of the hints that they play earlier in the movie, you kind of know where the ending is. And I will say I felt kind of bad for Naomi Watts because she didn't get much to do in this movie. Emma Stone had more to her, but Emma Stone's character really didn't, other than 2 lines in the movie about her backstory to Regan's character, Michael Keaton, she was kind of pointless as well. And like I said, her whole subplot with Ed Norton, or whatever that was supposed to be, didn't mean anything. Even Ed Norton, you could have got anyone else in this movie and it would have been just as good, I guess. I will say it is kind of interesting how you have Ed Norton and Michael Keaton in this movie, and both of them use the name. You know, Regan uses the name. Regan is played by Michael Keaton, and then Norton is plays a character called Mike. Yet you hear them shouting out real actors' name. At the beginning of the movie, Michael Keaton asks, "Oh, can we get Michael Fassbender into this movie? Can we get?" He asked for a couple of different superhero names, and you know, another ode to the fact that he used to be Batman. And at one point, Ed Norton goes, "Oh, couldn't you get Ryan Gosling for this movie?" So I didn't quite understand why they changed those two characters' names, but I also give Michael Keaton a lot of credit in this movie because his character, he has to do a lot. Like the whole scene of him walking around the block in Times Square in his underwear was pretty good. I mean, it's kind of amazing this guy did this. But other than that, I don't get why it won an award. I don't think it's that great. It's okay at best. So that's all I have to say for Birdman. Hopefully I see a better movie tomorrow. Later.